Hello and welcome to Binge Watch, the podcast where we take a look at the hottest new TV and film releases on streaming television platforms. I'm Hannah Fernando, the group editor of Woman and Home magazine.
And a very Merry Christmas to you too, Hannah. Thank you.
Ho, ho, ho!
And I'm Ian McEwan, writer on TV and Satellite Week, TV Times, and What's on TV magazines. And today we're looking at the new releases that will be available over the festive fortnight, Hannah, yes? Including the Harlan Coben thriller Runaway, starring James Nesbitt, Minnie Driver and Ruth Jones, and a new TV take on the hit stage show and film Amadeus, starring Will Sharpe and Paul Bettany as composers Mozart and Salieri.
Plus, guest set for a new batch of Desperate Housewives in glossy US drama The Hunting Wives, which is on ITVX. Ethan Hawke as a journalist intent on exposing danger secrets in the Lowdown on Disney+, and a roundup of all the other Christmas crackers coming your way. But first, Ian, what is in the news?
Well, MGM Plus will be making a new version of classic western The Magnificent Seven, and that is due to go into production next summer, so don't hold your breath. What else is in the news, Hannah?
Apple TV series Down Cemetery Road, starring Emma Thompson and Ruth Wilson, has been renewed for a second season.
I didn't like it, but everybody else did. So there you go. Well, usually, as you know, Hannah, we talk about films and TV series that are available from the day that our podcast drops. But because it's Christmas, mate, we're actually looking at a selection of things that will drop across the Christmas fortnight, okay? Although we will be talking about one series, Super Pumped, The Battle for Uber, that is already available to you, listeners. I hope that is clear. But yes, there's plenty to get through, so let's crack on. We're going to start on Disney Plus with a new drama series that will be available from Boxing Day. It's called The Lowdown, and here's a clip.
Citizens arrest! Ha! Ha ha ha! That's when the trouble really got started.
This is Lee Raybon.
Lee Raybon.
He'll write for any publications that'll humor his conspiracies.
You read my paper? It's booty and bad guys.
He's rough around the edges.
Dad, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You want to drive?
Now and again, he gets in over his head.
8 parts to this one. It's more of a comedy drama, really, and it stars the fantastic Ethan Hawke. Goodness me, I feel like I've seen him man and boy from a child actor to today. He's done so much great stuff. This is created by the person who wrote Reservation Dogs, and it's a bit of a film noir, I would say. Hawke plays Lee Raybon, who is a sort of grizzled, reckless journalist who he calls himself something like a truth historian. He's dedicated to digging up the truth, no matter what it takes. Okay, and there's a very powerful family in Tulsa, which is where it is set. And following a sort of expose that he wrote about one member of the family, another one committed suicide, apparently. Okay, so that's kind of the jumping off point. Yes, so the surviving brother who's a politician, well, wannabe politician, is played by Kyle MacLachlan. Yes, Mr. Twin Peaks himself. Yes, Jean Triplehorn plays the widow of his brother Dale. She's called Betty. And this is a great, great character for Hawke. It's sort of a bit like, I would describe it as a mashup of The Big Lebowski meets Jack Nicholson's character from Chinatown, because he's quite dogged and determined, and he will not be discouraged, but he just keeps getting beaten up, basically. Ethan Hawke describes his character as a hot mess. You're going to see Peter Dinklage in this. I just found it instantly fascinating. I absolutely love the character. I think it's one of the best characters Hawke has been cast as. I can see this coming back for sure because people are going to absolutely love Lee. He is, he's he's got an estranged partner. This mysterious character keeps kind of appearing and talking to him. So it'll be interesting to see what that's all about as well. So yeah, this just screams quality from the off. Hawke is very charismatic in it. It's dramatic. It's funny. It's great. What's the lowdown from you on this one, Hannah?
I didn't know what to think actually when I first saw that we were reviewing this, and I didn't really think it was probably for me. I thought it might be a bit flimsy, but it's not. You're right. It kind of oozes quality, really, doesn't it? Right from the very, very beginning. And Hawke is absolutely brilliant. The character Lee is just a great character, isn't it? And there's lots of nuances here. There's lots of kind of. It's not just sort of what his day-to-day life is like, but it's also personal as well. So it's kind of that kind of mixture of the two, which I always like. Feels like there's a lot more depth to it, and he's kind of drawn into things that I don't think he was definitely wasn't expecting to be drawn into, and that kind of creates lots of different avenues. So the script's really good. I think you're right. I think this will become a fan favourite quite quickly and make a return.
Good stuff. Well, from Boxing Day to New Year's Day, because yes, when you're all tired and hungover after the New Year's Eve celebrations, on Netflix you will be able to binge your way through yet another Harlan Coben thriller. This one's called Run Away, and here is a clip.
I really need to speak to your daughter.
I don't know where she is. She's missing. We tell our kids not to trust strangers, and look at us.
Who said I trust you?
Well, we've got a great pairing here because we've got James Nesbitt playing a main character, and we also have Ruth Jones from Gavin and Stacey fame also as a private investigator in this. And I'm a fan of both, so straight away this has got a thumbs up. It would have to do a lot wrong for me to not like it. So it's a Harlan Coben, so you kind of already know this is going to be good. And James Nesbitt plays the part of, it's an 8-part drama, by the way, and it is pretty dramatic, and straight from the off it feels dramatic, it feels pacey, and everything about it feels very curated and clever, I think, watching it, and I was really hooked immediately. So James Nesbitt plays the part of Simon Green. He's a financier, done really well with his life. Everything should be fine, shouldn't it? He's married to Minnie Driver, who plays Ingrid. She's a paediatrician. And their daughter, she's a vulnerable drug addict. And it's really sad because you kind of see flashbacks of when she was younger, and you know, every parent's worst nightmare, I suppose. That sort of beautiful, lovely, innocent child suddenly taken down a path of course, there's a return, but it doesn't feel like it to them in that moment. And he tries to reconnect with his daughter, and you can see the anguish kind of like etched on his face, I think, at times. I think he really lives this part. I feel like I can just see the worry in his forehead, you know, and kind of the weight of the world on his shoulders. And he sits in this park and he sees his daughter. He tracks her down, Paige, she's called, and but she vanishes. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She's sort of far into that grimy world, and he has an altercation with her boyfriend Aaron, and it's filmed by a bystander. And of course, these days everything's filmed right. It goes viral. He hadn't told his wife Ingrid that he was going to do that, and it becomes really tricky. And you know, this is somebody who has done well for themselves, but this is out of your power. And I often think this as a parent, there's lots of things that you can do a lot about, but you can't really do anything about something like this. You can try everything, money thrown at it, whatever. You know, if someone's an addict, it's really problematic, obviously. And I don't know, I feel that this is very credible, the way that they both play it. Anyway, this search for her, it gets very, very dark very, very quickly, and that's where Ruth Jones's part comes in. She plays Eleanor Ravenscroft, and she's been hired by another concerned dad to find his missing son, and these kind of two issues become intrinsically linked. Now, this is a bit of a different part for Ruth, I think, and she does it really, really well. She seems to, again, she's she's such a calm actor in everything she does. She's just very, very calm. She doesn't sort of overact, I suppose is the word. She just takes it in her stride, and again feels even more credible. She pushes back. She's not terribly emotional, which I suppose in a part like this, or if you are a private investigator, you can't be. Yet you're seeing some dreadful things, and the heartbreak and stress and the friendships and relationships that are made through this are really compelling. So for me, I think you should be watching this on the 1st of January, hangover or not. I think you'll be hooked pretty much straight away. What do you think, Ian?
It's a good one. I mean, I'm not a massive Harlan Coben fan. I mean, my God, he churns them out. And if you like Harlan Coben, well, you're in for a treat because he's got this multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. So I think it's 14 of his books are going to be adapted. So yeah, there's plenty more to come. And oddly, this one doesn't have Richard Armitage in it. But yeah, like you, I'm very keen on this cast. They're excellent. And I particularly like Minnie Driver. And yeah, that the subject of losing a child to addiction is it's absolutely painful, isn't it? Heartbreaking. But as ever with the Coben, there are all these different threads going on. For instance, there are these two young assassins who are going around killing people. And then, yes, there are various different threads. And you think, oh, there's going to be something I can't possibly guess what it is that will somehow bring them all together. And yes, so it comes to be. I agree with you about Ruth Jones. And so, for instance, Down Cemetery Road, which we mentioned earlier, in which Emma Thompson played a quirky detective who was like quirky in the wrong way, as in I felt over-egged, unconvincing. Ruth's Elena Ravenscroft is quirky in a good way. And we first see her, it's hilarious. So while we see Jimmy Nesbitt in a park trying to connect with his daughter, we see Ruth Jones as Elena in a park, and she's kidnapping someone's dog. You think, what the hell is going on here? So yeah, it's and then of course you get it works really well. I mean, Jimmy Nesbitt is great at being tortured, isn't he? And like, he was in The Missing and kind of similar things, searching for his son. So he and Ingrid, they basically, they do anything to find their daughter, but they're getting drawn into this dark, murky world of drug dealers and so on. Of course, they don't know what the hell they're doing, but they can't stop themselves. So, yeah, it's a good setup, great cast, and yeah, I think it will absolutely deliver if you are a Coben fan. Over on Sky Atlantic and Now TV, this has had quite a lot of publicity, and I, for one, have been very much looking forward to it. It's a new period drama called Amadeus. And here's a clip.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Antonio Salieri.
Why didn't you stand up for the music? Just because you're stuck rehashing boring old operas doesn't mean I have to be. The whole reason why I came to Vienna was to write for the Imperial Opera.
This repulsive creature, played as though guided by a greater power.
Well, you may recall the feature film Amadeus with F. Murray Abraham as Salieri, the court composer, and Tom Hulse, rather overdoing it, as musical prodigy Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Well, this is a TV series telling the same story. We've got Rory Kinnear in there as Emperor Joseph II, whose patronage both men are keen to, well, in one case, continue getting in, and in the other, to receive. So yeah, at the centre of it, it starts with Salieri as an old man, and he's kind of confessing to, he's played by Paul Bettany, the brilliant Paul Bettany. He's confessing to something that's happened in the past. And then we flash back to Salieri is the court composer, but Mozart breezes into town and he is just terrifyingly talented. It's embarrassing. It's certainly embarrassing for Salieri, you know. And I much prefer, Will Sharpe, who plays Mozart, I'm such a fan of his. He's so talented. He's a brilliant actor. He's also a writer and director. He did Flowers with Olivia Colman and Julian Barrett. He's done Giri Hadji. He was fantastic in that. He's very well cast because he does. Hulse sort of played Mozart as almost like a sort of sex-crazed juvenile delinquent. It was all a bit over the top. But yeah, Will Sharpe pitches it very well, I think. He's really convincing. And, it's a hell of a story. And of course, you know, the music. They spent a lot of money on this, as you can imagine, because, you know, costumes, sets, they don't come cheap. But it's very, very good. A really good reworking of the story with two wonderful stars at the top of their game. So yes, it's a thumbs up from me. What do you think, Hannah?
It's really a bit different, isn't it, Ian? I did enjoy it. A bit like the first one. I kind of wasn't sure what to expect here. Great actors, completely different. I suppose, in a way, this is obviously, you know, largely fictitious, isn't it? So, you know, you don't know, a bit like The Crown, I suppose. You don't know what's true and what's not. But I like to think these things are true. And you get kind of hooked in quite quickly because, of course, you don't know much about these people. You know, they've kind of influenced a lot of things around us and in our lives. And then to see this kind of the rivalry, I didn't know that one of them was sort of, you know, essentially probably better than the other, and kind of the backstory of all of this. I found that in itself very, very interesting. And as I say, I was compelled quite quickly, quite early on in this of watching. I thought, you know what, I could actually keep on watching this. This is good. And it's been done well, hasn't it? It feels like a bit of money's been thrown at it. It doesn't feel like it's done on a shoestring, which is also really, really nice. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. But as I say, probably a bit like The Crown, you have to keep it at arm's length with the actual reality and truth.
Good stuff. Well, I'll brace yourselves for this next one. Over on ITVX and arriving on Saturday the 27th of December, we have a new drama series called The Hunting Wives. And here's a clip.
Hey, ladies. Sophie's here. Hi, girl. A new girl. Sophie just moved here from Boston.
Cambridge, actually, just across the river. It's where Harvard is.
It's just you and the guy working together. Doesn't that just feel so nice and cool?
If it stays hot like this, the boys are going to be running.
And it is our civic duty to bag some of them. You can do it.
Wow. Now, where do we start, Ian? Where do we start with it? You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Scandals, secrets, seduction. This is it. It all comes together in this American murder mystery. It's called Hunting Wives, and it was inspired by May Cobb's novel, which had the same name. Now, it's 8 episodes, and it is a complete saga. And do you know what? I found my heart racing really quickly as soon as I started to watch this, because not just for the the relatively racy scenes, but more because you can see somebody just being dragged into something that they were never ever going to be, ever a part of anyway. So it all centres around Sophie O'Neill, played by Pitch Perfect star Brittany Snow. She moves from Massachusetts to this wealthy Texan town. It's fictional, called Maplebrook. And she's really, you see her because she's with her husband. She comes to the town. She's anxious. She's unsettled. She's really a spare part, I suppose, to a degree. She's kind of like, just doesn't really fit in. She's very, immediately you can see she's very different to this social group that she's starting to, that she's become entangled with. And Anyway, this group of friends I put in inverted commas, really, associates, people she's fallen in with, and probably should fall out with, are known as the hunting wives. They're flawless, they're alpha females, they are a completely strong crew of women whose morals are dubious at best, is what I would say. They're extravagant, they're privileged. I mean, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant to watch. But they just go and do whatever they want because they can, right? And as I say, their morals are incredibly dubious. But they're very privileged lives and doing whatever they want when they want. It's kind of rocked because this local woman is murdered. And this is the unraveling of this set, really, I would say. And it exposes a lot of lies that a lot of people, many hope to stay buried. And I think one of the things, it's not shocking because I suppose we all know it goes on, but this kind of this set of women, this woman's come into this group. Sophie's come in, quite an innocent sort of regular person, I suppose. And she's already caught up very, very quickly. It's amazing to see how quickly a group of people you can just become embroiled with so quickly, whether it's drink, drugs, sexual antics, whatever it might be. And it's probably quite hard to remove yourself from that because they would probably turn against you. So the story really does have you gripped right from the off. It's just a notch above, isn't it? Really, it takes it to another level. I don't quite know what else to say about it. It takes it to another level, but also as well as that, as I say, there was a bit of upset for Sophie, I felt, throughout it. I kind of thought, oh, no, I really want to get you out of that, and you're too far in. So it will have you hooked for a number of different reasons. Ian, what did you think?
Well, I didn't think I would be into this at all, but I thought it was great fun. And I have to say, Malin Ackerman from Billions, who plays Margot Banks, the socialite, whose husband, she's in a kind of open marriage and her husband is an aspiring politician, and she's like the queen bee in this group. She is a force of nature, and it's well pitched because Sophie's come to this place because of her husband's work, her husband is working for Margot's husband, and she doesn't drink and she doesn't drive. And when Margot finds out, it's partly because her husband, so something's happened in the past and her husband doesn't want her to. And Margot's kind of like, you got to live for today. You should do what you want to do. That's what I do. And there's part of you thinking, yeah, she should do what she wants to do, but maybe not drinking and driving. Yeah, so there's some good stuff. I mean, so Margot is also the hot mum seducing the son of a friend. Classic. Yeah, and I learned a lot. I learned about the body shot. Did you know about the body shot, where you put a shot of tequila in a shot glass in your cleavage? You put some salt on one side and some lime juice on the other, and then someone licks the salt and the lime juice and grabs the shot glass and downs it. So I learned that. I'll be trying that over Christmas with the family. Lovely. So yeah, it's got a bit of Riders about it, but not played for comedy, So yeah, I mean, I think, I tell you what, it's totally addictive. It is good stuff. Now, I promised you something that was immediately available, and it is also on ITVX, another new drama series called Super Pumped, The Battle for Uber, which, yes, arrived on Sunday the 14th of December, and here is a clip.
My name is Travis. I am the founder and CEO of Uber. And contrary to what you might have read, I am not a monster.
The notorious bad boy of tech.
Are you willing to listen to wise counsel? I will always listen, but I will never take orders.
Is this legal?
So yeah, tech bros, Hannah, bit marmitey, aren't they? And we've had the Zuckerberg story, haven't we? The social network. We've had the Steve Jobs story. It can only be a matter of time before we get the Elon Musk story and the Jeff Bezos story. But for now, we had the We Work guy as well, didn't we? That was a very amusing Apple TV series. But now we have Travis Kalanick, better known as the co-founder and former CEO of Uber. Yes, played by the brilliant Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who was in Inception and has done lots of other things. He's an interesting actor, I think. He's a little bit different. I like him. The challenge he has here is that, like many startup bods in the tech industry, Travis is not a very nice person. And in a way, his flaws are also partly what helps him just get this thing over the line, because he will not give up. But yeah, you can see he's a bit of a monster to work for. He's horrible to his staff. And there are people trying to shut down Uber, as happened over here, you know, in London, like the black cab industry tried to get Uber shut down, didn't they? I mean, Uber, that's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, apart from when they didn't turn up to take me to the airport for my holiday. Apart from that, yeah,
very bad.
I mean, it was a brilliant invention, isn't it? It's absolutely life-changing for so many people. It's also been controversial for various reasons, but we won't dig down into that. Anyway, you will also see, I mean, it's a good cast. Uma Thurman as Arianna Huffington, who co-founded HuffPost. Elizabeth Shue from Leaving Las Vegas. She plays Travis's mum. You've got Kyle Chandler from Bloodline as the venture capitalist who backs Uber. So yeah, I think Levitt does a great job in the first 5 minutes, and there's a lot of kind of tech bro talk, and super pumped is what he says. I'm super pumped about this. You know, think, oh God, you idiot. There's a lot of kind of tech bro, dreadful chat, but Levitt overcomes that, and the fact that Travis is not very likable at all, and makes it very compelling. So, and it's an interesting story, you know, and it's very much of our times. So, and of course, you know, as with the We Work guy, it all ends in tears, unfortunately. But well, for Travis anyway, not for Uber. But yeah, unexpectedly, I did like this. What did you think, Hannah?
I did like it. I like things like this because, again, you get an insight into that world, don't you? And as you say, Uber is a big part of most of our lives, let's be honest, and it's been a massive success, but it's not been without its challenges. And seeing a startup business, I mean, yeah, they're all right, the techno kind of narrative's not great, but excluding that, if you can, the idea of somebody just, I suppose in a position like this, you just have to be steadfast and ruthless. And that's the whole point. And that's how you get to the top, right? That's how you get the backing. That's how, because how many other people have thought of this idea and not got their financial backing or what have you? The fact that they were facing financial ruin because of all the fines put on the drivers. And there was kind of a lot of rings to jump through before it became the success that it's become today. And as you say, lots of controversy too. So for me, I just find it fascinating, actually, because you get just a little bit of an insight into the person behind it all. And I don't think I knew anything about that person other than, you know, yeah, they've created something that we use and don't even think about as an app on our phone. But as you sort of said at the very beginning, the people that tend to do this are the people that aren't always, you know, stereotypically nice, but they're usually the sort of people that are just absolutely driven and will stop at nothing to get what they need to do and you know, come out on top.
Well, we couldn't finish without giving you a little bit of this year's Man of the Year, Alan Carr. So it's another New Year treat arriving on iPlayer on the 2nd of January, Amanda and Alan's Greek Job, but also, yes, a little extra bonus on the 22nd of December on BBC One. You also get to see Amanda and Alan's Spanish Christmas, from which, here is a clip.
This is exciting. This is like the beginning of a Christmas movie, Alan.
Isn't it just? Die Hard.
We're back in Spain, and this time it's Christmas.
After renovating our beloved bed and breakfast, we've been invited back by our friends in Mocklin to celebrate this special season in the Andalusian sunshine.
You know what? These two they're just a winning combo, aren't they? I mean, as you say, Alan's kind of the man of the year, really, after Traitors. But it just works, the two of them. And the idea that Amanda can do the kind of renovations he's doing with those nails on is no mean feat in itself. But they just bounce off each other, and she really does get stuck in, and they seem to really have a lot of fun together. And I think that's why that translates to so much fun on the TV. So as you say, you've got the them partying at the Spanish B&B. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And they've inspired, we interviewed them, and we've inspired quite a few people to buy these kind of pound holiday homes. I mean, you need a lot of money to then do them up, of course, and you unfortunately find an awful lot wrong with them once you get in there. But my goodness me, don't they do a fantastic job? And it's no wonder it just keeps getting recommissioned, really. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the Greek job, Amanda holidays in Corfu every year and various other Greek islands. She absolutely loves Greece, and there is something very special about Greece. If you go, it's just a bit different to everywhere else, and it's stunning. And of course, that backdrop is when we're all sitting there on the 2nd of January, feeling a little bit grim at the idea of going back to work. This will cheer you up no end, because that's where you'll want to be. You'll want to be in the warmth and the sunshine. And I can't wait to see what they do next, really, Ian, because there's been lots of talk about them taking the Strictly gig, hasn't there? Although I think they've now denied that. But there's been lots of conversation about it. There's a lot of bouncing off each other that people find lighthearted and fun in what is otherwise a relatively grim society right now. So I think it's So I love them as a duo. What did you think?
On that note, I'm backing Lavoie to do Strictly because she is just a brilliant presenter. Anyway, yes. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. There's a lot of this is very corny. And I started watching the Spanish Christmas, and I thought, they haven't filmed this at Christmas. They did it in the summer. This is nonsense. But then they go and see some Christmas lights being switched on. So I had to eat my words. As you say, the two of them together are irresistible, really hilarious. And even though some of the content is pretty thin, it's like Amanda shows someone how to make a trifle. I think, is this good telly? But they just sweep you along. They're so funny, and they make each other laugh a lot. And Alan is just priceless. She says at one point, "Oh, this is just like a Christmas movie," and he says, "Yes, Die Hard." Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff about Alan's style.
There's lots of innuendo as well.
There is a lot of innuendo. When he goes to Greece,
like
of course. I saw episode 1 of the Greek one, and God, I want to go to Corfu now. God, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, Alan's like, "Oh, I want to find a Hercules. I want a Greek god." So yeah, they're just great fun, aren't they? Those two, and it's very lovely, escapist, sunny fun over Crimbo. We're going to do, because there's so much going on over Crimbo. And of course, the Christmas issues are in the shops now, listeners. If you've not bought yours of TV and Satellite Week, What's on TV, and TV Times. And you may recognise the voice of the TV Times Christmas advert. I'll say no more. But we'll do we'll do a little cheeky roundup. So, in terms of factual programmes, there's a lovely documentary that I did some interviews for on the Beeb on BBC iPlayer. It's called Wild London. It's narrated by and features the wonderful Sir David Attenborough, and it's showcasing life in the concrete jungle. Yes, including pigeons who ride from one station to another on the tube. Yeah, it does happen. You've got peregrine falcons living on skyscrapers. You've got deer running in and out of the road. It's all happening. And over on 5, this is another one that I covered. We'll move over Michael Palin because Jane McDonald is going pole to pole. Yes, Jane McDonald pole to pole sees the singer and broadcaster embark on her own globe-trotting trip from Antarctica to the Arctic. And again, she's just someone she's just a delight to watch. She just has a very winning way about her. And she'll be singing some songs as well. And Hannah, I think you're going to tell us about a few of the treats also available on streaming platforms that we haven't been able to cover as previews.
Well, Helen Mirren and Kate Winslet star in touching family drama Goodbye June. I'm looking forward to that, which lands on Netflix on Christmas Eve. Sophie Turner is terrorised at a remote hideaway in Paramount Plus Thriller Trust, available on Boxing Day, if that's your thing. And as hit Netflix series Stranger Things concludes, sad for a lot of people, 3 episodes drop on Boxing Day before a single episode finale on New Year's Day, so mark your calendar. And the brilliant Ricky Gervais, big fan of, returns to stand-up stage with his latest Netflix special, Mortality, which was filmed at the London Palladium. And that comes to us on Tuesday, the 30th of December.
We've got to that time. Well, you can either tell me what you've been binge watching, or if you prefer, and I haven't prepared you for this, you can say, give us one or two of your favourite shows from 2025.
Oh my goodness me, there's so many, Ian, I've loved. You know what though, the run up to Christmas, I spend my life watching reruns and just thinking how brilliant they are. Yeah. So I was wrapping presents and I thought, what do I want? I was listening to some Christmas music on the TV as you do, and then Vicar of Dibley was there, and I remember I still have it, the actual original box set of it, but I hang on to these things. I don't know about you. I feel like I can't get rid of these things, but there it was, and it's just so funny, and we forget it's just so innocent.
No.
And the jokes at the end that she does in the back of the church is just absolutely brilliant. I love Dawn French. I love the whole show. So that has been really making me smile, actually, because it's just so, I don't know, it is very clever, but it just feels so kind of simple in comparison to so much that we see now. And of course, Strictly is a mainstay, isn't it? Although that is we're there almost, aren't we?
We're there. Well, because I'm starring in a musical Cinderella at the moment, because I'm a big theatrical star, Hannah, I haven't been watching much telly in the evenings, but I will select, I think, my favourite show from 2025, I Fought the Law, starring the wonderful Sheridan Smith, who is going on stage with Romesh Ranganathan, isn't she, in an Alan Ayckbourn play. So yes, it's good stuff. Now, we've just got time to look ahead to, well, our first offerings of the new year, Hannah. And it's a strong selection. So what is on the Binge Watch New Year menu?
Well, we start the new year with a superb new drama, Waiting for the Out, which will star the responders Josh Finnan as a philosophy teacher working in a prison.
Yeah, I'm already predicting that will be my show of 2026. It is excellent. And this is one for you, Hannah, I suspect.
Yes, I've seen
Idris
the name.
Elba, he's back in crisis management mode, this time on a Berlin Underground train as the thriller Hijack returns. Yes, so it just remains to wish our wonderful listeners a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas,
and a Happy New Year. Yes. And, of course, in the meantime, keep watching.